How's it going, guys? Joe and Zach here for another Monarch Minute. They always go over a minute. This week we want to talk about, as this new year gets underway, a lot of crucial SEO updates that have happened and tips and suggestions to keep in your mind going into this 2020 season.
Yeah, a lot of businesses especially don't realize this from both a local and global perspective, that there's a lot of changes that frequently happen and a lot of massive core updates across all search engines that directly affect how you show up online. So we're going to be talking about what you can do to be proactive about those updates, and then also just some things that have happened this past year that are going to affect you moving forward.
First one, Google Chrome. Big update that just happened on the 13th of January. If you guys haven't noticed yet, when you're searching and you go to a website, normally you'll see either a lockbox or it'll say not secure, or there'll be a question mark up in the actual search bar of the website. Google Chrome came out and said, starting January 13th, that there's actually going to be a pop-up that lets people know if the site is not secure, which can scare off a lot of your visitors because it's going to pop up and say, your information might not be safe, which can keep people from actually staying on your site. That being extended forward, that was Google Chrome update 79, I believe. There's going to be an 80 and then an 81. 80 takes place in February, 81 probably shortly after. That then will actually make the entire page show up as a massive pop-up. So if you go to one of your favorite sites that's not secure, the entire page will actually say your information is not secure, and you'll have to go to a few extra steps to even get to that site. So massive percent of people actually search on Google Chrome. So if you have a website, make sure you fix that, or find someone, aka plug us, to fix that, or else you're going to be losing out on a large percentage of people trying to find you online.
So kind of to go hand in hand with the Google Chrome update, Google as a search engine, as well as other search engines, are starting to put more emphasis and priority on a term called E on websites, which is essentially the effectiveness of the website, its authority in the entire, global database in terms of search queries, and then also the trustworthiness of that site. So it really comes down to the main content that you have on your website. If you're providing factual information that searchers are actively engaging in, and based off of the reaction or how the user is experiencing your content, that's how Google's ranking it. So when we look at bounce rates and time on site, it's really crucial to have those things laid out in such a way where you're having a low bounce rate with a lot of time on site, as well as relevant traffic to those sites. Over time, that basically says to Google, hey, people are coming to the site, they're actively engaging with it, so that must be information that they would like to receive.
And if you have questions on how to make your content more effective and maybe get a stronger authority, feel free to reach out to us. We have a whole other series of information and blogs coming out that will be addressing that as well. Third thing coming into 2020 that has been on everybody's mind is how voice search is going to be affecting SEO. So if you're asking Siri for a question, if you're asking Alexa, fill in the blank with any number of other voice searched items. A big thing you need to know is the way you're portraying your content online, and that comes out in blogs that you may or may not have, as well as FAQ pages. So, on every website, when you have a list of potential questions people will ask related to your service and you have answers, that'll play a huge part in this year and probably continued years with voice search, because if you're asking Alexa a question like, what's the weather today, or how do I find good SEO, you need to make sure that you have an FAQ page where it's pulling a direct answer, not necessarily a massive paragraph, because Alexa is going to be answering that in a very short, finite way to whoever's asking it. So coming into 2020, make sure you get your blogs locked down with some potential direct answers, as well as maybe a lengthier FAQ page, or at least have an FAQ page if you don't previously.
So to play off the FAQ page and voice search, we also are seeing a high stress with search intent, as well as featured snippets. So what we mean by that is when people are searching active key phrases, Google's starting to pull the most relevant content that they think the user is searching for or wants to see in their feed. So when we see that, that's kind of where we put the stress on featured snippets. And what we mean by that is at the top of Google or any search engine, when you search a question or a statement, or you're just Googling a certain geographic place or business, occasionally you'll get the brief description that shows up that explains that question or that statement in which you entered into Google or other search engines. And that's called a snippet. Basically, why that's so important is, one, you're showing up on top of, you know, your competition as well as the market, but then two, from a voice search perspective, when you ask that question, it's the first thing to show up. And so from a search intent, they're going to see that and say, okay, that is the main authoritative web page for that question. And over time, you're going to develop that domain authority that's crucial to your overall SEO presence. So to play off of that, that's important. And it's also interesting to see how search engines are adapting and really going into a voice search featured snippet authoritative place.
So thank you guys for tuning into this Monarch Minute. A big thing we want to start doing, as well as reflecting on just the business world, is also giving SEO tips that we're finding every single day could really be helping businesses. So if you like it, let us know, and any questions you have, feel free to shoot us those, and we'll make more videos answering them. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.